I was wrong about Alton Towers Scarefest 2025. Around a month ago, here on Your Experience Guide, I put a video out there about Alton Towers Scarefest, and it was everything that I knew about Scarefest at the time of upload. In that video, I said it was looking like Alton Towers Scarefest was going to be another year of Alton Towers Stalefest. That was probably unfair because since then, Alton Towers have announced a new scare maze and a new scare zone for Scarefest 2025. The new scare maze is called Edge of Forest. It looks like it's going to lean into the story of 13, the roller coaster that's located in the Dark Forest Alton Towers and has been there since 2010. I really like the idea of this, and I really do hope it tells us more of a story about 13 and how it connects to Alton Towers into the Dark Forest and really leans into that bit of the story about don't go alone and getting lost in the woods and so on. I think it's a really great concept. I'm surprised it's taken until 2025 to do it. However, I'm glad they're doing it, and I'm very much looking forward to how they do this maze. Also, the new scare zone is called Dark Hollow. Again, I'm looking forward to this. It's always good to see scare zones at Alton Towers Scarefest. When you think back to things like 2016, 2017, when they had all the scare zones on the walkways, those were some of the peak years of Scarefest. Then when you go back to the really early years of Scarefest, you had characters all around the park, especially in things like the Haunted Hollow, and that was fantastic. There was always characters, there was always interactions, and it really did add to the atmosphere of Scarefest, something that has been sorely missed over the last few years, because as soon as you get past Tower Street, the atmosphere of Scarefest was just done. It was nowhere to be seen. But to have two scare zones now, Burial Grounds and the Dark Hollow, and this new scare maze, I think it could be a good year for Scarefest. So in terms of scare mazes for 2025, we've got 3 of them that are geared towards those who want to turn up to Scarefest and be scared. So they are Altonville Mine Tours, which returns to Alton Towers again. I know it's very popular, but it does keep returning year after year after year. This does have the potential to be a fantastic scare maze if the batching is done correctly. If you are sent through in groups of 10, 15, 20, it's not going to be great. Problem we've got is Alton Towers is popular, Scarefest is popular, so it is a difficult one for them to manage in terms of how many people do you put through a scare maze each time. We can't be expecting to go through in groups of 2 or 3, or even 5 to be fair, so maybe 8 or 9, maybe that needs to be the limit, I don't know, but anything more than 10, it becomes a problem and you just lose what Altonville Mine Tours is. Also, I really do hope it is the last year of it, but for now, moving on. The other one is Compound. That was, of course, new for 2024. It did get a lot of 10 out of 10 reviews. I personally had 2 goes through it. Didn't think it was great. It lacked actors. It didn't lack in theming. The story was good for it. It just needed more actors in there and more scares to really tell the story. And then, of course, we've got the new one for 2025, Edge of Forest. Really interested to see what they do with this one. Overall, there is 5 scare mazes at Scarefest. There is also Trick or Treat Town and Amigos in the Afterlife. Those are more geared towards families, so I don't think they're going to be particularly scary. However, again, last year they did get some good reviews. But for me, it's not what I go to Scarefest for, so I'll probably be giving those a miss again, like I did last year. Moving away from the scare mazes, this year there is 2 scare zones, Burial Grounds and the new one, Dark Hollow. Now, Burial Grounds has been really good over the last couple of years, leans into the Wicker Man story, is located next to Wicker Man. Works really well if there's actors in there. There was one time we went through it last year where there was just hardly any actors in there at all, and it was just kind of pointless. But if it's filled with actors, filled with interactions, it will be fantastic. And the same with Dark Hollow. If it's got a bit of good theming with it, that's fine, but it needs actors to really make it work. Otherwise, it's kind of a pointless scare zone. But it is great to see 2 scare zones at Scarefest. This is what the event needs. So let's go back to the start of the video here and talk about why I got it wrong about Scarefest 2025. Well, in my video, that everything you know about Scarefest so far, or everything I know about Scarefest so far, I said that it was going to be Alton Towers Stalefest 2025 because I was not expecting the announcement about the new scare zone, but also at the time they hadn't announced that Burial Grounds was returning as a scare zone either. So it was looking like we were going to have a very limited lineup, very samey lineup. But with the announcement of the new Scare Maze, the new Scare Zone, and the return of Burial Grounds, I have to say I was wrong to call it Stalefest 2025, and I do feel like the event will be better than it's been in previous years. Scarefest returns to Alton Towers from the 27th of September 2025. It is, of course, on selected dates. It's not on every single day from that date to the end of the run, but it is on more than it's ever been on before. It is the longest running Scarefest in the history of Alton Towers Scarefest. That surely can only be a good thing for those who want to go and enjoy this event. For me, I used to love Scarefest in its early years and then enjoyed it when they had all the scare zones in like 2015, 16. But then they cut right back on it and it's never quite been the same since. Hopefully this year, with an addition of a new scare maze, a new scare zone, and the return of what was already there, hopefully we're going to see a great Scarefest. Hopefully this year it will be a 10 out of 10 event, like it was called many times last year, when quite frankly, it was a 4 out of 10 event at best. But with the introduction of a new scare maze, a new scare zone, and new ideas from RWS Global, working with Alton Towers to bring this event forward, I'm very interested to see what Scarefest is like. It can't be any worse than last year, and I think it is going to be the best Scarefest since COVID. But let's wait and see what it's like. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. So what are your expectations for Alton Towers Scarefest in 2025? Do let me know in the comments section below. If you have enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up below. Please drop us some hype points. It's a new thing on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Your Experience Guide. We have over 80% of our viewers on YouTube since our channel begun are non-subscribers. So please do hit that subscribe button for more content from Alton Towers and many more Halloween events in the UK throughout the autumn season. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.